Hey yo, what's up guys? It's Vladislav Homan coming back at you, and today we're going to talk about the hidden science of the soul's journey, which I think is one of the most important topics you could possibly educate yourselves on. So this will be a good video for you guys, alright? So it'll be a long video too, it'll be around an hour and a half. I have my notes right here, I have my thing going on, so we're going to learn together. Well, I've been watching this, but it's good to refresh, so let's find out.
Here to go over probably the most important subject that anyone can touch on, especially at this time. All right. And I just want everybody to know and be aware of the fact that if I was just like every other YouTuber, if I was just like every other so called leader out here, um, I would be continuing to touch on and to talk about the fucking clown show that's going on around the world. You see, we all know about
This is from 2020.
The so-called virus hoax. All right, we know about that
RFG Chosen
situation.
One.
We know about the economy, the global economy that's getting ready to collapse. We know about all the things that the globalists are doing to plan their new world order. We know all about that. Project Bluebeam, CERN.
CERN, Project Bluebeam.
The demonic portals that are being opened. All right, we know all about that. So, I'm not going to continue to, to touch on this information. I'm not going to continue to entertain the circus show. Basically, all right, not going to entertain the circus show any longer. I said what I had to say. You guys can do your own research. You can either take it or leave it. I'm going to touch on what I believe is the most important subject to humanity right now, and that is what is our soul going to do after it leaves our body?
What is our soul going to do when once it leaves our body?
And people who are part of Islam and Judaism, Catholicism, they're under this notion of after your soul leaves your body, your soul only goes one of two places. And that's easily debunked. That notion is easily debunked. And I'm going to debunk the hell out of that shit with this video. Okay? Because the most important thing that humanity could be doing right now is going inside of ourselves, spending time alone, and going inside of ourselves through deep, dark meditation and understanding and trying to connect with who we were in the past life.
So the most important thing you can do is go inside yourself.
Look at certain traumatic experiences in your early childhood or earlier in your life and try to think, what could I have done in my past life to deserve what happened to me in this life? All right? Okay, because reincarnation is very real. And if one does not perfect or perform the method of reincarnation, the method of mummification, if one doesn't perform mummification properly enough, you can guarantee that your soul will be reincarnated.
Mummification is the answer from ancient Egypt without mythology.
I'll say about in between 10 and 15 minutes of this video right here, just so you guys can get the full synopsis that reincarnation is very real, and it is being reported by children all over the world. So right now they're playing a clip of a little boy who actually recalls his past life, and he was a female. He was a female in the past life.
Alright guys, I'm gonna quickly pull up this video right now so you guys can follow along with me. So just give me 1 second.
Sorry.
All right, almost there, almost there. All right, now just so you could see it. All right, let me just pull it up real quick. All right, that looks good.
So what does that prove? That proves that the soul does not have a sex. All right? The soul, the actual identity of the soul, is unisex. We don't we don't get genders until we come into this material realm.
So before the soul actually comes into this body right here, it actually is unisex. So you don't actually get a gender until you're in this materialistic realm.
His two daughters standing at the bedroom window in their smocks. Around the world, thousands of children from different backgrounds and religions have described a life they have lived before. The belief in the survival of the soul is an ancient one, but the fact that these children talk about events which seem beyond their childhood experience is considered by some to be evidence of reincarnation.
Turn that on.
Division of Personality Studies in Charlottesville, Virginia, there are 2,700 documented cases of children who talk about a previous life. These children come
2,700 children just in this particular county in Virginia.
from around the world: Southern Asia, West Africa, Europe, and the United States. Scientists at this Centre of International Research are hoping to find proof of reincarnation, so they carefully investigate new cases as they emerge. My son Harley was 3 years and 3 months old when I first heard him speak of something which indicates a prior life experience. It was on Halloween 1997. I don't have a problem believing in reincarnation, though until Harley started telling me things about his other mama, I never really thought about it in any concrete way. I would like to ask him more about it, but I don't want to do so in a way that will suggest answers to him. Any suggestions? Sincerely, Pamela Sweet.
I'm in a town called Exeter, California, which is about 10,000 people. And I'm going to visit a mother and a little boy who has said some things about having lived before. We've got over 100 American cases in the files, and they tend to break down into two camps. There are the same family cases where the children never been to see for a long time. And then there are the rather specific statements, so if I'm able to verify it, it'll be a very strong case. The worst case scenario, I suppose the worst would be where we get to suspect it's fraud. As far as we know, we only have the mother as a witness. So even if we assess her and don't think that fraud was be involved, it does increase the chance that she had simply misinterpreted some statements that the boy has made. This must be Harley.
Now, pay very close attention to what's going to be stated when they have this conversation at the park.
Said Harley. All right. So when was the first time that Harley said anything that might be
When he was two, around two, when he got in trouble or sent to his room or something, he would sit in his room howling over and over again, I want my mama. Even when I walked in the room, stood in front of him saying, here I am, he would still keep saying, I want my mama. Then when he was three, we pretty much exhausted the possibilities of that particular neighborhood. And I said, okay, well, let's get in the truck and drive over to the other side of town. And he said, oh, you mean the part of town where we used to live? When I lived with my other mama.
So the kid remembers having another mother in the previous life.
Concern. Polly pointed to a road they passed every day and said, oh, they paved it now. Yet the road was paved 30 years before. He talked about an older brother pushing him out of a tree and going on a camping trip to the mountains with his other mother, Stacy. Polly's story fits the pattern of many of these cases. He said these things repeatedly when he first learned to speak and stopped when he began school at the age of 5. Polly also had a birthmark, which in such cases is thought to be a physical reminder of injuries received in the previous life.
So
Okay,
birthmarks.
so she just said that he had a birthmark, and according to ancient Hindu, ancient Vedic texts, mentioned Kemet as well. Okay, if you have a significant birthmark that's large enough, it usually signifies major trauma that was done to your body in the past life. Now, especially if the birthmark is large and dark. Okay, on melanated people, that's going to be a large darker birthmark. All right, as opposed to those who would be considered non-melanated.
So birthmark pretty much is exactly what he just said. It's a representation of a past life or a trauma you experienced in a past life, or you might have been killed, and that's just something that you carry with you into your next life on your new body. So the kid was pretty serious about what he said about his past life. He wasn't really being jokingly open about it, or even
Certainly a lot of kids have imaginary friends.
So like so basically the standpoint that the doctor is coming from, or the psychiatrist is coming from, is he's trying to deny this, what I'm saying, notion by any means, what I'm saying, necessary. He's not trying to give this situation any validity. All right? Because there's been other cases where children have said how they've died in the past life, and then the actual investigator looks up people in that location who died and the way that they died through certain, websites and through certain statistics online, and they find those people who died in that same situation. There's an individual in Chicago who basically lived a life as a different race, so-called race, and he died in a fire in an apartment building. All right, and the investigator found that same person who died in that apartment complex in Chicago. Okay, so these situations are happening far too frequently for them to be just considered coincidence, or for us to jump to the conclusion that everybody's just making this up.
Sort of make believe where they're not quite sure that it's me. I get a sense that it was particularly wrapped up in the idea of having a child that was her very first case. She agreed to fill out an interview. She keep it pretty hush hush. I'm sure you told her mother. So I don't think she's seeking publicity or anything like that.
And see, she just said that she didn't really want to spread the word like that because she lives in a mostly Christian town. You see, and let me tell you something, Christianity was probably one of the biggest mind fucks that has ever been pushed on the human species. Christianity was probably the biggest mind fuck that was ever pushed on humanity. And because you have a lot of people in Christianity that believe what they believe, and they tell you that, oh, you either go to heaven or hell after you die. You know what I'm saying? There is no in between. There is no in between. There is no purgatory. There is no reincarnation. That's evil. That's evil talk. Well, if it's such evil talk, why the fuck are you Christians always complaining about your houses being haunted? Why are you Christians always complaining about your houses being haunted? Okay? Say is reincarnation is actually mentioned in your so-called good book. All right? Just do diligent research. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about, there's no middle ground. After your soul leaves your body, you just go to heaven or hell and that's it. Do you know how dumb that is? Look at how complex and diverse this material realm is. Look at how large, how complex, and how diverse this material realm is. So you think the material realm is that complex and diverse and that large. And when you get out of the material realm, you think it's just black or white. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Christianity was the biggest mind fuck that was ever held over humanity in history. Okay, because it pulled us away from godhood. It basically pulled us away from godhood. It got us to forget our soul's true identity and our soul's true purpose in this material realm. I'm going to repeat myself. Christianity caused us to lose a big piece of our God consciousness because it caused us to forget our soul's true identity and it caused us to forget our soul's true purpose in this material realm.
I agree. Christianity pretty much
Okay, so let
disconnected
me
us
see if
from
I can
ourselves and
play
pretty
this
much try to
quick.
make us seem that we aren't our own, creators or the God is within, everything is within.
I started native Arlen's Park way back looking through the obituaries.
Yeah, okay. So he's looking through the obituary, seeing who died in a car accident, who was a teenager.
Here's an accident where 6 people were injured, but it looks like 9 killed. So if we find that a 15-year-old named Jonathan was killed in a car accident and he had a mother named Stacy, well, I went through the newspaper archives that only cut through 94 and 93. Of course, Harley had said that he was 50, but also the mother's name didn't match. They knew his name was Sylvia, where the one thing that Harley seemed certain to know was that his mother had been named Stacy. Where are you gonna get? Well, no, I need a picture of you just standing there.
Finding a previous personality match isn't scientific proof of reincarnation, but these cases constantly throw up questions which investigators are compelled to address.
It seems clear that 3 and 4-year-olds do not have any meaningful understanding of death. They say it, many of these children speak that implies that it's not death or a violent death contributes to the children being able to remember. Doesn't necessarily mean that it contributes to them reincarnating, although that would be a possibility.
Now, see, that broke down this child. Now we're going to see a child in East India for a report for reincarnation.
Reincarnating, although that would be a possibility.
After the accident, I was watching what was being done to me. My younger sister cried a lot. There was a garland on my body when I was brought home. I've seen a photograph of my corpse, and the garland is there in the photograph. I can't remember much after that. I was in darkness and saw some light. Even if I remember coming in the direction of the light, and then I was reborn.
Okay, stop right there. She said, I remember going into the direction of the light. After she died, she went into the direction of the light and she was reborn. So she remembers her goddamn death and her rebirth. And what did she say? She said, when she went into the light, saying, and other truthers have been saying, after death, do not go into the light. That is a fucking reincarnation light. That is the light of the archons, keeping your vibration on the frequency of the material realm. Okay? You're supposed to see a black hole. You're supposed to see a dark hole, a dark portal. You're not supposed to go into the light. All right? I'm going to repeat that shit. This is where it gets deep.
I can't remember much after that.
Like what he
So she
said.
went into the direction of the light. She went into the direction of the light after death, and then she got reborn. She got put into another physical body. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna put. Okay, out on this video. That's all I'm gonna play on this particular video. If you guys want to watch all of it, this is the title of it on YouTube. All right. Now, okay, there was an individual by the name of Duncan McDougal in the early 1900s. He conducted one of the greatest forensic experiments of all time. He weighed about 3 to 5 patients' bodies who were on their deathbeds. Okay, he took their weight down.
He was trying to weigh the
After they
souls.
passed, he weighed them again and noticed that each body was 21 grams lighter than what it was when they were still alive. Basically, proving through forensics that the soul is 21 grams of electromagnetic energy, 21 grams of orgone force.
Do we have a soul? And if so, is it measurable? On April 10, 1901, an unusual experiment was conducted in Dorchester, Massachusetts. Dr. Duncan McDougal was going to prove that the human soul had mass and was therefore measurable. He conducted this experiment with 6 dying patients who were placed on specially made Fairbanks weight scales just prior to their deaths. The patients were selected based upon their imminent death. 2 patients were suffering from tuberculosis. A total of 5 men and 1 woman were selected for this experiment. Dr. McDougal's intention was to weigh each body before and after death to determine if there were any differences noted on the precision scale. In the company of 4 other doctors, Dr. McDougal carefully measured the weight of his first patient prior to his death. Once the patient died, an interesting event occurred. McDougal explains.
Suddenly, coincident with death, the beam end dropped with an audible stroke, hitting against the lower limiting rod and remaining there with no rebound. The loss was ascertained to be 3/4 of an ounce.
What caused this weight loss? Everything was taken into account, from the air in the lungs to bodily fluids. It still could not be explained. The experiment continued on the next patient with the same results. Dr. McDougal felt he was on to something extraordinary. According to Dr. McDougal,
The instant life ceased, the opposite scale pan fell with a suddenness that was astonishing, as if something had been suddenly lifted from the body. Immediately, all the usual deductions were made for physical loss of weight, and it was discovered that there was still a full ounce of weight unaccounted for.
Following the experiment and consulting with the other attending physicians, it was determined that the average weight loss of each person was 3/4 of an ounce. Dr. McDougall concluded that the human soul weighed 21 grams.
Okay, March 11th, 1907.
Took their own measurements and compared their results. Not all the patients lost the same weight, but they did lose something that could not be accounted for. And then something interesting occurred on the third patient. He maintained the same weight immediately upon death. It was only after a minute had passed that he finally lost an ounce of weight. Dr. McDougall explained this discrepancy as follows.
In this case, that of a phlegmatic man, slow of thought and action, that the soul remained suspended in the body after death, during the minute that elapsed before its freedom. There is no other way of accounting for it, and it is what might be expected to happen in a man of the subject's temperament.
Dr. McDougall conducted the same experiment on 15 dogs.
So pretty much what he's trying to say that the man that was too trapped in his own body to find the exit.
Is that right? Is that right? So this man also experimented on, did the same experiment on dogs. Okay, he weighed them when the dogs were getting ready to die, and then weighed the dogs again after they did die, and noticed that the dogs' weight was still the fucking same. You know what that means? The dogs, the canines, okay, so-called man's best friend, ain't got no goddamn soul. And what the fuck did I tell you about the origins of the canine? Go to my old channel, go to my old YouTube channel and check out my video on the true origins of the canine and what the fuck the canine really represents. Okay? So Mr. McDougall proved that your buddy, your little pal, your little bit, soul. And they only bark at the motherfuckers with souls. Okay? So when that dog is barking at you, it's barking at something that it can't comprehend. It doesn't understand. So just like other people on this earth, they fear what the fuck they don't know and they don't understand. Okay? So the dog has a spirit. The dog has a spirit that keeps its bodily functions alive and thriving for the time being, but it does not have a soul. Go research the difference between the spirit and the soul. Two totally different things. The spirit is like a vessel for the soul. And certain people are walking around here with spirits and no souls. There are certain animals that have spirits and no souls. Okay? One of which being the canines. All right? You guys better wake the fuck up. Because I told you about your hellhounds. Your fucking hellhounds.
Physics teacher at Los Angeles.
I'm willing to bet money if these motherfuckers perform that same experiment on cats and certain intelligent animals like elephants and shit like that. I bet you it would be proven that they would have a soul. I bet you they would be 21 grams lighter after death.
School. His conclusion was aligned with that of Dr. McDougall. There was no deviation in weight when the mice died. Dr. McDougall admitted that more research needed to be done, but following his experiments, he diverted his attention to obtaining the soul as it left the human body. Unfortunately, he failed to establish any further scientific breakthroughs. Dr. passed away in 1920. No further credible experiments have been conducted to verify.
Man, yeah, he just passed away. They probably took his ass out. Come on, man. They probably took his fucking ass out. Cause you know why? Because your Bible doesn't talk about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Your Bible don't talk about the science, the actual science behind the soul and behind reincarnation and what our souls are really doing in this material realm. They don't talk about that shit. Now the Gnostics spoke about that shit. So I'm gonna play the first 2.5 minutes of this video.
Many Eastern religions and New Age traditions believe in some form of physical rebirth or reincarnation, but you don't need faith to think it happens. Over the last 60 years, researchers have documented several thousand cases in which young children recalled the events of a previous life in such detail that those experiences could be confidently matched to recently deceased individuals. Though this evidence has been largely rejected by mainstream science, it compels us to explore new theories of the human mind and to consider the possibility that consciousness might survive bodily death. Some of the world's oldest religions hold reincarnation, or rebirth, as a fundamental tenet of their beliefs. In all the Indian religions, Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, and Jainism, it is believed that people are fated for an endless cycle of rebirth, as humans, animals, or even plants, according to the tradition, unless they manage to escape.
The only way, now notice he said escape. The only way you escape reincarnation is mummification and your soul entering a wormhole, entering a dark portal. Your heart chakra has a dark portal. Okay? 4 chambers. They say 4 chambers in the heart. There's a portal. There's an electromagnetic portal that consists of dark matter, and it absorbs light. It absorbs light consciousness. So if your heart chakra, if it is light enough, and it's detached enough from this material matrix, you can go through that wormhole portal in your heart, and you can enter an entirely different universe, an entirely different dimension, folks. It's true. It's very true. Like I said, I'm gonna break this shit down like no other. So just listen very carefully, pay attention.
It is true. That's why in Egyptian mythology they say a heart has to weigh less than a feather.
Tibetan Buddhism holds that every Dalai Lama since the 15th century has been the same person reincarnated more than a dozen times. Before every death, he instructs his followers on where to find him in his next life. Other cultures outside of East Asia, such as the Tlingit of the Alaskan Panhandle or the Druze of Western Asia, also have a high prevalence of belief in reincarnation, with their own metaphysical assumptions. The idea of rebirth is not nearly as prevalent in the West or in any of the Abrahamic religions.
And you know why that is? You know why that is? Because, see, these are the religions. When you talk about Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, you're talking about the worship of the demiurge. You're talking about the worship of the goddamn deity that's responsible for keeping us in a reincarnation cycle. You're talking about the deity that's responsible for keeping us in the reincarnation cycle in this material realm. So, of course, this deity isn't even going to tell you your soul's true identity and isn't even going to tell you that you can achieve spiritual godhood. Of course, you're not going to hear about it in the 3 main world religions. Okay? Because they're worshiping the fucking demiurge.
As of some Christian minority movements, including some early Gnostic sects, the medieval Cathars, and the 17th century Rosicrucians.
You see, the Gnostics,
Some early Gnostic sects, the medieval
Gnostics taught about reincarnation.
and the 17th century Rosicrucians. But most Abrahamic religions hold that following death, the soul passes permanently to the afterlife, an idea that's essential to the doctrines of salvation and the judgment.
See, this where you get the Christianity and the Judaism and the Islam, like all that bullshit, the worship of the planet Saturn. to the whole reincarnation cycle, staying stuck in the fucking material realm. So they tell their followers, it's either heaven or hell. Why that is? That's to induce people with fear. Because if you induce them with fear after death, before death, that weakens the aura. You see, that dims the light, that dims your light. So they tell you to go into the light after death. It's nothing but a fucking reincarnation light. Okay? Just like the little Indian girl, just like the little East Indian girl said. After she died, she went into the light and got fucking reborn back into the goddamn material realm. That's what your main fucking religions want. That's what they want. That's what Father Time and Yaldabaoth, that's what they want. They want you to stay stuck in the fucking material realm. Now, there are also videos on YouTube where these fucking scholars are saying that they think that the brain, they think that the soul is in the brain. They believe that the soul is in the brain. But it's funny. They're giving the credit of knowledge of reincarnation. They're trying to give that credit to the Greeks. And that's bullshit because the Greeks learned everything that they learned from the fucking Egyptians. You see what I'm saying? And then they're going back and saying, "Oh, we believe that the soul is in the brain." You see, these later people on the earth, they don't fully understand alchemy. They don't understand the actual metaphysical makeup of our carbon bodies and of the soul. They don't understand. All right, the soul actually resides in the heart. Okay, the soul resides in the heart. The brain is nothing but an organ that fools the soul into thinking that the physical body is real. I'm going to repeat myself. The heart chakra is actually your soul's identity, and it is actually your willpower, your life force, and your actual personality. It's actually your heart. The brain is the motherfucking organ that fools the soul into believing that it has a physical body. Okay? And I'm going to repeat that one more time for the people who are hard of hearing. The heart is the true life force and the true willpower and the true personality of the soul. Okay? I did a lecture on my old channel 2 years ago on the Child's Play movie. Okay, and I broke down how heart transfer was soul transfer. Okay, it wasn't brain transfer, it was heart transfer. Okay, so the ancient Egyptians knew that the true identity of the soul was in the heart. That's why in Child's Play, to actually kill Charles Lee Ray off for good, they had to kill his heart. Alright? The brain is a fucking organ that fools the soul into believing that the physical realm is real. Alright? This is why mummification was practiced. This is why mummification conducted of the brain being pulled out of the skull, alright, by a chisel like mechanism. And they turned the brain into mush and they took it out through the nose. Now, the pineal gland is only a mechanism for interdimensional communication. So basically, the pineal gland is just an interdimensional telephone. It's what we use when we're in the third dimension to communicate with other spiritual beings in other dimensions. Alright? So our pineal gland is only a source to speak to deities in different dimensions. It's only an interdimensional telephone. The pineal gland is only an interdimensional telephone. So when we leave this dimension and we go to another dimension, we don't need it. We don't fucking need it anymore. And this is why the brains were taken out during mummification. The brain only fucking keeps us believing that this material realm is real. The real identity of the soul is the heart. Now, see, I believe the spirit lies in the brain, but the soul resides in the heart. You see, this is why the heart, the symbol for the heart chakra, it's the triangle going up and the triangle going down, and they're combined with each other. Now, what this is if you look up the symbol in alchemy for spirit and mental, for mental and spiritual existence, it's the triangle going up. The triangle going down represents the emotional and physical existence. Okay? So, we had to fall down. We had to fall down into this material realm. But our mental and spiritual existence still keeps us connected to the higher spiritual realms. Alright? When you talk about things about physicality and emotions, that's all mundane, materialistic feelings that are tied to this material matrix. Okay? So the triangles pointed up. The mental and the spiritual aspects of our existence, which are represented by fire and air. You see, look up the alchemy symbols for fire and air. It's two triangles going up. Look up the alchemy symbols for water and for earth. It's the triangles pointed down. Okay, that represents our emotional and physical existence in the matrix. The fire, the triangle pointed up, represents the mental and spiritual existence on this earthly realm. All right, so these are basically portals. These are basically vortexes. All right, so the heart chakra binded a vortex going down and a vortex going up. As soon as we were born, our heart chakra binded two vortexes, one going up, one going down. All right during our birth. Okay, and that is the true identity of our soul, of our soul's essence. So if we were more tapped into our higher self, lighter, lighter feelings, lighter emotions, detachment from the earthly realm, our heart chakra would be able to activate this wormhole, and our heart chakra would be light enough to move past that stargate in our heart. All right? And it had nothing to do with the brain. This is why the brain was disposed of during mummification. All right? So mummification didn't guarantee that you were going to defeat reincarnation. And it didn't guarantee that you weren't going to be stuck in purgatory.
Agreed.
See, it didn't guarantee that. It basically guaranteed that you were going to get an opportunity to ascend past the stargate as long as your heart chakra was vibrating on a high enough frequency. Okay? If your heart chakra was vibrating at a high enough frequency, you were able to get through the stargate. All right? And you would be no longer attached to this body that you were in, because that's why they took the fucking brain out. Because as long as the brain is in the body, okay, a piece of that spirit is going to remain in the body. Remember, the spirit is in the brain, the soul is in the heart. The spirit and the soul are two totally different things. The spirit is just a vessel, it's a carrier of the soul. The spirit is just a vessel, it's just the carrier of the soul. All right? Okay, I'm trying to tell you guys this information is profound so much power. And God said, my soul came back on this earth to set things back into balance again. All right, to take that power away from these religions that are controlled by the fucking demiurge. Okay, they want us reincarnated over and over again. They want us to forget our soul's identity. They want us to forget our past lives. You see, they don't want us. They don't want us to conduct shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Mummification. They don't want us to have light hearts. See, they don't want us to be in tune with the cosmic current, the current of the orgone energy and the dark matter of the cosmos. They don't want that. You know, they want us to worship Zeus, aka Serapis. They want us to worship Kronos, aka Father Time, aka Set. All right, they want us to worship Amon, because the deity Jesus is really the committed god Amon. Amon became Zeus, and Zeus became Jesus. So when you worship that Bible, you're giving your energy to Set and Amon. That's why you say amen after your prayers. You say amen because you're giving your energy to Amon. Amon was the jealous god that took over Kemet, okay, and tried to conform the people to indulge in monotheism. All right, just like Set, just like that traitor Egyptian Akhenaten, aka Moses. You see the fuckery? You see the fucking bullshit? All right, this is why I came back here, and I myself believe that I was reincarnated. Most definitely, I actually made a video on my older channel stating that I believe that it was a possibility I could have been Mussolini reincarnated. That's a possibility, but it's not a guarantee. Okay. This is what I do guarantee though. Through my research, when you die, all right, especially through a traumatic death, when you have a traumatic death, okay, that leaves in a form of electromagnetic energy that flows through your soul. Okay, it affects your soul, and this is what causes for you to have that birthmark when your soul enters the other body. So basically, if you die through a traumatic experience, that's going to affect your soul in such a way that your soul is going to carry that same electromagnetic energy of that trauma over into your new body. So your new body in the new life is going to carry that same trauma, that same memory, basically memory of that trauma. And the memory of that electromagnetic trauma, okay, the memory from that trauma is a birthmark, would be considered a birthmark. Now, birthmarks would be considered certain injuries that we suffered in the past life. All right. I'm just going to make this clear as possible, straight to the point. I have a birthmark right here, okay? That is this shape. It is like an oval shape, just like this, but it's not on the right side of my stomach. It's on the left side of my stomach, and it is completely dark. It is this color. It is completely dark. Okay? So I have a birthmark on the left side of my stomach. It's this dark, and it is on the left side of my stomach, and it is oval shaped. Now, that tells me that it wasn't done by a gunshot, because a gunshot, a bullet wound would be circular. A bullet wound would be circular. You see, something like this would definitely be impalement. It would be the result of being impaled by a hard object. So I definitely believe that I was killed with a sword. Okay, it's coming out of my own mouth. was put to death by way of sword in the past life, probably rebelling against the Catholic order, the order of the Vatican. Okay, and I was probably captured and put to death. Or shit, you know, I may have been an individual who put myself to death rather than to be captured. You know, certain cultures, that's how they conducted their way of life. All right. So when you look at this guy right here, okay, look at that. His birthmark goes across his fucking throat, which shows that his throat was probably slashed in the past life. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, but that's true. This is the nature of our true reality. Okay? Not religion, not religion. It's the science of spirituality. Okay? Just like I said, I have a birthmark of my own that is rather medium to large sized, and it is dark. It is way darker than this, and it is on the left side of my stomach, and it is this exact shape right here. So I actually believe that somehow, some way, I was either a casualty of war or I was killed by execution or assassination by a lethal impalement of a sword. All right, so I'm going to be taking trips to Haiti and to certain countries in northwestern Africa, and I'm going to be mingling with the Dogon tribe, and seeing what they know about the mummification process, and as far as soul identification and the journey of the soul. All right, because this is the deepest shit that we could be looking into right now. And all the bullshit that's going on in the world right now, it's to distract us from this. It's all to distract us, okay? It's all to distract us from this, from escaping reincarnation, all right? Understanding how important the practice of mummification is, all right? And like I said, all you Christians out there, you know, how can you say that somebody can only go to heaven or hell after death when you are the main motherfuckers reporting that houses are haunted? Every time you see a goddamn haunted house reported, it's always a fucking Christian family. Okay? And why is the house haunted? The house is haunted because the soul is stuck in the material realm. The electromagnetic energy of the soul is stuck in the material realm. Okay? That's why the soul can be captured on certain cameras because the light photon, the soul is still in the light photon spectrum. Okay? It's called photography. It's called photography. So the camera is only going to pick up the souls that are still in the photon spectrum. You see, photography. All right? You Christians got to wake up. Wake up. Now we're going to get really deep. This is according to the Haitians in Haiti. According to voodoo, the soul consists of two aspects. All right, the gross bone ange. Okay, the big good angel, the gross bone ange, the gross bone no, the gross bone ange, and the T-bone ange. All right, the gross bone ange, the T-bone ange. Those are the two aspects of the human soul. Now, like I said, there's certain humans who only have the gross bone ange. Now, those individuals, I don't think there's any hope for them. But what I will say is, close to 90% of the earth, they both have a gross bone ange and a T-bone T-bone anj is the most important. All right. This is the source of personality, the character, and willpower. Okay. The character and willpower. All right. The personality, the character, and willpower. So that is the consciousness. This is the actual consciousness of the soul. All right. The willpower, the willpower, the heart. Okay. Go research. Go research the model for Leo. Go research the model for the zodiac sign Leo. The model for the zodiac sign Leo is I will. Is I will. The model for the zodiac sign Leo is I will. Willpower, I will. Go look up the fifth house. Go look up the fifth house in astrology. The fifth house rules the heart chakra. It rules the heart. And the fifth house motto is I will or I create. It's either I create or I will. Okay, the Leo motto is I will. And what organ is ruled by Leo? The heart. I will. Willpower. You see, this is the heart chakra. The personality, the character, and the willpower. The fucking life force, the consciousness. The life force, the willpower, and the consciousness of the soul. That's the T-bone, the T-bone anj. Now, the gross bone anj is a part of the soul that is essentially responsible for basic biological functions, such as flow of blood through the body and breathing. So this right here is the brain. This is the part of the soul that is the spirit that rules over the brain, and this is the organ energy that keeps the soul functioning on this material realm. This is the soul. All right. This is the part of the soul which is the spirit. Okay. That keeps our physical body functioning in this material realm, in this material matrix. This is the part of the soul that keeps us connected to the material matrix. All right? Keeps the biological functions going, the flow of blood through the body and breathing. All right? That's all controlled by the brain. Okay? The brain is only the organ that keeps the soul fooled into believing that we're actually existing in this material realm. So when the brain is gone, we still have our personality, we still have our character and our willpower. You see, that is what's most important. You see, so when we go into the new body, when we go into a new body after reincarnation, we still have that same fucking personality, that same character, and that same willpower. That is the goddamn reincarnation of the fucking heart chakra. Okay? So right here, this is the most important aspect of the soul. It's the T-bone anj. Okay, we gotta give it to our Haitian ancestors that practice voodoo. All right, the ancestors of the Yoruba and Western Africa. Okay, the so-called Washington, the Atlanteans of North and South America. They all knew about this. They all knew about this. All right. Also, the Moors who traveled to East India, those were the ones who gave the East Indians Hinduism. Okay, and they talk about the same information right here. And I don't think nobody talks about it as accurately as the ancestors that voodoo. All right. So with all that being said, that's all I have to say on this topic. I appreciate everyone who supports RFG and the Atlantean movement. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's the Chosen One, man. I'm out.
All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. It was a lot of information. Hopefully you took something out of that. Yeah, it was it said a lot about reincarnation, um the T-bone aunch, which is pretty much your personality or willpower, the heart chakra. Yeah, man. Hopefully you took out a lot of from that, hopefully it was educational. Hopefully now you have less questions and more answers, and hopefully you keep on looking deep. This is Vladislav H out. Thank you for watching.